Hello and welcome to Evans Mill. Today we're coming to you live, well maybe not live, but from Taylor Hall, our event space. We're getting ready for a corporate group tomorrow. But today we are cutting up watermelons. It's getting the end of the summer. You can find these babies at the farmer's market. Lots of them around. But something I find that very few people know how to do, or maybe they just don't take the time to do, is to seed a watermelon. You'll find everybody wants the seedless watermelons. They all want to, cut it up with the seeds in it. It makes it hard to eat. But I'm going to show you a pretty easy way to get as much meat as you can out of the watermelon without having to spit seeds out. Which if you're having a speed sitting contest, that's pretty good. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take our watermelon. We've washed it real good, which is always a good idea. I've also got my gloves on today. Whenever you're handling food that's not going to be cooked, certainly, that's a health department rule is you need to wear gloves. If you're at home, maybe that's not such a big deal, but if you're cooking for a lot of people, we're going to do that. So we're going to start by cutting off, we've got the stem end and we've got our blossom end down here. So we're going to take those two ends off. Oh, and it is a pink red watermelon. I have to say these watermelons came from one of our staff. Tina, her mom grew these, so these are homegrown watermelons. And some of them were yellow earlier in the week, so I wasn't sure what I was cutting into. All right, so once we get the ends off, we're going to take it, and you can kind of see how deep your rind goes, where it goes from white into red or pink. So we're going to take off and start peeling it right where the rind, where the white meets the pink. And we get rid of those rinds. And we're going to go all the way around this watermelon like this. And you want to get as close as you can. You don't want to be wasting the nice, pretty part of it. And you'll notice I've got this sheet tray under my cutting board. And now if you don't have a tray that'll fit under your cutting board at home, you can lay a big towel under your cutting board, because you're going to get juices unless, there's no juice in the watermelon, and then you've got a worse problem. But assuming you got a lot of juice coming out of that towel will catch all the juice so it doesn't drip onto your floor at home. So once you get the rind off, I'm going to go back around because there's still where we've missed a little bit. Make sure we get all that white off and get down to the good stuff. So the seeds in the watermelon, maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't, but they tend to run in a pattern. So we can now go back around this watermelon. You can kind of see the seeds in there. What I like to do is kind of come, just like we were doing the peeling, we're going to go back and take off a slice of meat. All right, so you can see we ended up getting a few seeds, but you can also see the pattern of the seeds. So we're going to be able to go all the way around this watermelon, and if you end up getting a few in there, then we just scrape them out. Real easy. And we end up with a nice piece of watermelon with no seeds. So we'll do that with this one too. All right, so we can go all the way around this. Now that we know how deep to go. See how we have nice rows of seeds in there? You can actually take a paring knife. Makes it a little easier to get all those out. We'll do that in a minute here. Yeah, I don't get any seeds in that one. All right. So once, and there's one more little strip there. All right. So once we get down to the core, we can see that there's lots of seeds in that section of the watermelon. So usually when I get to this point, I'll take it, cut it in half. Aha, there's more meat in there. But see how the seeds are all on the outside. This heart of the watermelon, I'll tell you a little secret that never makes it to the breakfast tray in the mornings. I usually end up eating that, or the staff does. So once you cut it into quarters from that hole, then you can take and you can kind of, there's always this nice little heart section, and that is sweet meat right there. Get that out of the way. Same thing with all four. We'll come through, take out the middle, a little bit of seed there. with this one. And this one. A little bit of seeds. All right, so now we've gotten the hearts out. We're down to these last little sections. Lots of seeds. So you kind of have to just do a little work. And when you see a section of seeds, they all kind of run in a nice little line, and you just have to find the barriers of where they start and where they stop. So we end up with a nice little chunk. So out of each quarter of watermelon, we only really wasted about that much. And you could actually take these and probably scrape them down a little bit more, but you've pretty much got the majority of that meat out of that watermelon without too much waste and without too much time. And I have to say, the watermelons with the seeds in them, they are a little sweeter, at least to me. All right, so you can see how nice it is to have that tray under your cutting board, but just keep a couple bowls handy to keep some of your scraps and to keep some of your seeds, and try saving some of those seeds and planting them. That turns out pretty fun. And you guys enjoy your watermelons. Thank you.